Hear that? You hear the birds and you hear the chimes. Might even hear the fan. But do you hear anything else? You hear the wind. Hold on, what's that? I hear something else. Something running. It's getting louder. It's a generator, you guys. Scout is talking to Uncle Luke, who she is bound to replace as our watchdog as Lou gets older. But that's not why we're here. Got home from dinner out on the town, and this was waiting for me. Ordered this inverter generator this week. Florida has a week that they call the hurricane tax holiday, and the idea is that certain things are tax-free if you buy them during this week in preparation for the hurricane season. Batteries and I think tarps and you know, mundane kind of common items, but also generators up to a certain amount of money. And don't chew on the generator, Scout. So I bought this one. Now, why did I buy it? I did a little research, and this one, this Westinghouse, compared favorably, believe it or not, to the holy grail of inverter generators, which is the Honda, and it's less than half the price. So I got it. Now, one of the things that really intrigues me about these inverter generators is this right here. They're made, and not just the Westinghouse, but most of them. They're made so that you can take two and you can parallel them. And that way you could take a 2200 generator like this one here and parallel two together and end up with over 4,000 watts. And that's pretty impressive. So I did a lot of YouTube research and reading reviews, and I decided to go with this Westinghouse. And so I'm excited to get it out and give it a spin, see how I like it. And if I do like it, I'm going to buy a second so that I can do that parallel. All right, here it is out of the box. It's pretty good size, bigger than I thought it would be. And I'm not going to go over all the bells and whistles right now. But it did come with, of course, an owner's manual and several pamphlets. It came with a bottle of oil. Came with tools, screwdriver and a wrench for taking off the spark plug, I guess. And even this oil filler thingamajigger. So that's nice. Okay, so I've got it running, and that's running in efficiency mode, and that's very quiet. I don't have a load on it yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a load on it, and by way of this heat gun. I think heat guns pull a lot, so let's hear what it does. And this is pretty darn quiet. I'm impressed. So let's hear what it does when I throw the heat gun on. That's all the way with the heat gun. Not bad, not bad. And in efficiency mode, the inverter goes down with the loss of a load. Pretty cool. Let's throw something else on it. All right, here it is with a weed eater. Let's see what it's like. How am I going to do this? Pretty good, pretty good. So I'm going to let it run for an hour with and without a load, and just see how she runs. But I'm pretty impressed so far. Now I will say this is not a generator you want to be throwing in the back of the work truck on Monday and leaving there and bouncing DeWalt tools off of it. It's not that kind of generator. I won't say it's delicate, but it's not heavy duty. This is a generator more for an RV and more for what I got it for, which is the damn deer flies, which is for basically hurricanes or any kind of event where we lose power. It's a prepping generator as far as I'm concerned. And as I mentioned before, one of the things that really sold me on not the Westinghouse specifically, but inverter generators, is the fact that I can now buy another one, and I can buy about a $20 cord that will parallel the two generators together, and I go from a 2200 1800 watt running power to double that if I want to. Of course, having two of these, you can also have them in two different places, but I'm fairly impressed. You know, I think back to Hurricane Dennis. We lost power for several days, and at the time we had a large generator, one of those 5,000 watt generators, and of course it was outside, and but we had the windows open because there was no air conditioning. And even though I tried to insulate around it, the thing was just so loud, running all the time. And we would turn it off at night just because you couldn't sleep, and you certainly couldn't hear anything coming, a vehicle or anything. So one of the prepper reasons for getting one of these inverter generators, they're so quiet, is you don't draw attention to yourself. You don't scream to the neighborhood for miles around, hey, there's a guy running a generator over here. I'm not saying you'll be able to hear the cars come in or somebody breaking through the woods, but you're going to hear a lot more with this thing going than if you had one of those large generators going. And I still think an insulated doghouse for one of these is a good idea. Obviously it's got to be ventilated, but it's something I may consider building, even if it's a portable one or one that I can throw up, something that will insulate the sound so that you can still hear what's going around. Because I think in a grid down situation, even a temporary one, it's just nice to know that you're not speaking out to the neighborhood, hey, I've got a generator going, and you're also able to hear a little more about what's going on around you or coming towards you. I do recommend, if you get a generator of any type, that you get a little logbook, and a logbook can just be a little notebook, and you log your hours, you log your oil changes, you keep track of how you use the thing, and that way you'll never go beyond a recommended maintenance. The only maintenance you can really do to this one, of course, you can change the oil. There's a spark plug that you can change, and there's also an air filter that you can clean out and change. So I'm going to go ahead and stock up on some oil. I'm going to stock up on, I'm going to grab another spark plug that fits this thing. I'll see if they sell the little foam air filters to have an extra one of those. Now, I will tell you this, I am only going to run unleaded gas in this thing, and when I say unleaded, I mean none of that ethanol crap. I buy marine gas from my mowers, and I will run marine gas in this. They call it marine gas around here because that's what goes in boat motors, but basically we're talking 100% gasoline, no ethanol. I really recommend that. I think it's just better for the engines. I'm an amateur, but that's what I think.